Back with the sister Mariam's question, Mariam from Libya, who inquired about the Ruqya, and he said, what is the meaning of Ruqya and why is it recited? And anyone can recite Ruqya upon anyone. So it is recommended, because the Prophet ﷺ used to recite the Ruqya upon Al-Hasan wal-Husayn, his grandsons, where he would say, أعيذكما بكلمات الله التامة من كل شيطان وهامة ومن كل عين لامة ومن شر النفاثات في العقد ومن شر حاسد إذا حسد. These are all means of seeking refuge and protection in Allah against the evil eye, against Satan, against the magical spells, and against every harmful insect. Then when Allah revealed the last two chapters of the Quran, the three chapters, Al-Ikhlas, Al-Falaq, and Al-Nas, Al-Mu'awwidhat, the Prophet ﷺ started using these surah as means of Ruqya. Thank you. Ruqya. Every one of us should recite Ruqya upon himself, upon herself, upon their family members when you know that somebody is sick. What is not recommended is to ask somebody to recite Ruqya upon you, because it may take you out of the 70,000 who shall enter paradise without previous reckoning, without accountability. Because when the Prophet ﷺ said in the long hadith about 70,000 who shall enter paradise without previous hisab, those who do not believe in bad omens, those who do not seek ruqya from others, rather they completely put their trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I've explained this hadith before in detail. But now, provide the ruqya for yourself and others is recommended. And since you're working in the medical field, as I understood, he asked, what is the dua that you should recite for the patient, for your patients? The Prophet ﷺ taught us multiple du'as in this regard. One dua, he says that when you visit a sick person and you recite in his presence this supplication 7 times, if Allah the Almighty did not destine him to die in this sickness, then he will be cured because of the virtues of this supplication. To say 7 times the following dua: As'alullah al-Azim, Rabb al-Arsh al-Azim, an yashfiyaka, if it is a male, an yashfiyaki, if it is a female, if the patient or the sick person is a female. So what do you say? As'alullah al-Azim, Rabb al-Arsh al-Azim, an yashfiyaka. I ask Allah the Great, the Lord of the Great Throne, to cure you. You say it 7 times. There are other supplications. You can find them in this little beautiful booklet which is known as the Fortress of the Muslim. We're making a new app by the grace of Allah which will have all the adhkar and so on. So you'll have the adhkar in Arabic and in English, hopefully with the audio as well. The dua is Allahumma Rabban Nas, Adhib al-Bas, Ishfi anta shafi, La shifaa illa shifauka shifaan la yughadiru saqama. Very comprehensive supplication that when you recite upon a sick person, inshallah, he or she will be cured. Not to forget that you should always remind a person who's suffering or aching because of sickness or ailment that this is definitely good for him or her. If this person was not a practicing Muslim, so Allah the Almighty remits much of his sins because of his patience during his sickness. If this person was a righteous person, Allah the Almighty raises him into higher ranks because of his patience due to his sickness. When the Prophet ﷺ was suffering in his death rattle while he was lying down on his deathbed, and Abdullah ibn Mas'ud touched him and he figured that he was extremely hot. He asked the Prophet ﷺ, how do you bear the heat? He said, I'm having double the fever of any of you. He said, is it that because Allah wants to raise you into the highest rank? He said, yes, indeed. And in the sound hadith, the Prophet ﷺ said, ما يصيب المسلم من هم ولا نصب ولا وصب حتى الشوكة يشاكها إلا كفر الله بها من خطايا. Anything that afflicts the believer, anything that afflicts the believers, worries, hardship, difficulty, any crisis, death of loved ones, loss of properties, sickness, ailment, even if it is just mere thorn that pricks his skin, Allah the Almighty removes some of his sins because of that. So these are all means of kafarat, remitting the sins. The believers perceive it this way, and they understand this is from Allah, a gift. So they endure it patiently. Talking to the sick people with this style, reminding them with the virtues of sickness and forgiveness of sins as a result of that, will strengthen them and give them steadfastness in order to be patient due to their sickness.